Once upon a time, over 2,000 years ago, there was an emperor who lived in a grand palace. He would walk through the gardens each day, admiring all the flowers, but was still very sad, for the wife whom he loved dearly had gone on a long journey around the world, and he did not know when she would return. One day, he stopped to himself and he said, "I'm going to bring her back, and I'm going to do it with the most powerful court magician in the land." So he summoned the court magician, and the emperor said to him, "I have heard you have great powers. What is one of the most powerful spells you can cast?" The magician thought for a moment, and then he said, "Even on a beautiful bright day like today, I can darken the sky and make lightning appear." He had a concentrated look on his face, and sure enough, darkness befell the sky, and he made lightning appear, flashing in the sky above them. Once he returned the light to the sky, the emperor said, "What else can you do?" And the magician said, "Even on a beautiful bright day like today, when there is not a cloud in the sky, I can make rain fall." He had a concentrated look on his face, and sure enough, rain began to fall from the sky. And as fast as it had started, it stopped. The emperor was impressed and said to him, "Very well. I shall give you the greatest challenge of all. My wife has gone on a long journey, and I am heartbroken. I want you to bring her back by the time the moon can be seen in the night sky. If you do not succeed, you will be in serious trouble." And with that, the emperor turned and went back to his palace. The magician turned and began to walk home, thinking to himself, "It is one thing to create darkness and lightning, and another to create rain. But to bring an emperor's wife back from so far away, and by tonight, how will I do this?" But then he noticed funny shapes cast on the ground as the sun rose across the sky, and he had a wonderful idea. He quickly returned home. He found a piece of leather from a donkey that had passed, and he carved a beautiful image of the wife into it. Then he attached rods to the puppet and went back outside his house. He created a paper screen, which he laid in the doorway of his home, and he found a candle to cast light onto the street, illuminating the screen. The magician felt prepared, so he called to the emperor. When the emperor heard the magician was ready, he was so excited he ran across the palace grounds. But when he got there and saw nothing but a screen, he was confused. He said, "What is going on?" And at that very moment, the magician turned to the side and allowed the light to be cast on the puppet, creating a shadow on the screen. As the magician turned side to side, so did the puppet, creating the image of the emperor's wife, if only in shadow. It was as if indeed she really had returned. The magician was richly rewarded for his creativity, and the seeds of shadow puppetry were planted. They have continued to grow throughout the years until this very moment in our classroom. The end.